Something big is brewing, and a major Red Sox move is incoming because of it. A young southpaw pitcher down in the minor leagues is creating a lot of headway based off his recent performances, and I'm here to break down whether or not he is going to get called up to the Red Sox organization and take Walker Buehler's starting spot. We'll break down all of the moving parts and pieces on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, please do remember, scroll down, click the subscribe button, stay up to date with everything Boston Red Sox, as nearly 90% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down, is Kyle Harrison already major league bound? Now, if you don't know who Kyle Harrison is and you don't know where he came from, he was the biggest returning piece in the Rafael Devers blockbuster trade that took place earlier this season. Now, Kyle Harrison, James Tibb III, the Florida State graduate, was also a part of this trade, as well as a few other minor league players that are down in single A. Harrison was the headliner because he's a young pitcher who pitches from the left side, and he has a lot of good stuff, and we've seen him pitch at a pretty high level back in the major leagues before being brought to Boston and sent down to AAA. Now, based off the performances of himself from late in AAA for this AAA affiliate in the Woo Sox, but as well as the play of Walker Buehler, it seems like there's a legitimate chance this young man is going to get called up, and he could be a legitimate piece in the starting rotation for the Red Sox come maybe mid-September, even not late September, going into October for a big playoff run. So his most recent outings, his last two outings, he has pitched 15 innings. He gave up 11 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 walks, and 20 strikeouts. The walks are the biggest concern in this entire conversation surrounding Kyle Harrison. I will say, as playing devil's advocate in the sense, yes, the command does scare you. The fact that he is walking a lot of guys does scare you, but he is only 23 years of age. He still has a lot to learn, and I will say there has been a lot of improvements. Throwing a slider, a sweeper, a changeup, and a fastball that has increased in velocity from the 92, 93 that we saw him sitting at back when he was with San Francisco, and he had dominant moments, is now up to 95, almost 96 miles per hour. So his overall stat line from his most recent outing comes from Meyer King on Twitter. Go follow him if you don't already. The whole line is 5 innings, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 4 walks, 8 Ks on 94 pitches, 52 in which were strikes. And at the bottom, it goes on to say 4 of his strikeouts were on the fastball, 3 were on the slurve, and 1 on the slider. The 1 hit he did give up was on a fastball, which was a bloop hit. The biggest concern, once again, is the command for young Kyle Harrison. Again, 23 years of age, a lot out in front of this young man still, and it looks like he's putting the pieces together. And with the way Walker Buehler continues to perform, he may be getting called up to the big leagues relatively soon. Obviously, there's 40 games remaining in this season. There is not a lot of time left. And if the Red Sox can go out there and win the majority of these games, 25-15 or anything better, should do absolutely otherworldly. It should be otherworldly productive without a doubt. They should be in the tops of the AL if they are able to go out there and win 25, 23, 28 games in these remaining 40, and it will really do a lot for them in the sense of momentum and really just energy going into October. As we all know, every single pitch is going to matter, and if you go in there with momentum, it could do a whole lot in really propelling your team into not only the second round, but possibly even further than that. So, Kyle Harrison's been great. Only question is the command. The velocity on the fastball is up. The sweeper, the slider both look very, very good, as well as the changeup, which we know is good because it was an absolutely just filthy pitch when he was back with San Francisco in the starts that we saw. No, this is not every start in an exact order. These are his best performances in his career, I should say. Yes, some of them came from this most recent season before getting shipped off to Boston, but the idea is relatively the same. Not a lot of reps on the major league level. He was brought to Boston. He had to prove himself down in AAA or really find an opening in this starting rotation, and it looks like he's done a bit of both, in the sense that not only has he gone out there and performed down in AAA like we mentioned earlier in this video, but also Walker Buehler is making it very, very hard to keep him in the starting rotation on the big league level. And it hurts me to say this. It hurts me to break this down. It's not the first time we're having this conversation on this channel, despite Buehler coming off of some quality starts in his most recent outings, including not last night, but the outing before that, 5 or 6 days ago, when he went up against the San Diego Padres. He went 6 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts. Despite getting hit around, he looked good, and he didn't give up any runs, and that was really it felt like, hey, maybe this is the Walker Buehler we're going to continue to see through the rest of the back end of this season. Obviously, that is not the case, as last night against the Houston Astros, an AL rival, a team that was what, a game and a half up of the Red Sox going into last night's game, and they wanted him to get through that sixth inning, and they paid for it. The Red Sox organization, Walker Buehler, the fan base absolutely paid for it, because Buehler tried to stay in that game, tried to get the final 2 outs of that inning. It resulted in a 2-run shot, blowing the doors open for the Astros, despite the Red Sox offense really never getting going outside of the 1 run they did put across the board early in this game. The offense really did never show up again, and it felt like the game was out of reach because of that, and also the fact that they're now down 4-1. In a game they were only down a single run going into the 6th inning, it felt a bit heavier than the actual score represents. Again, the total line for Buehler last night, 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 Ks. He did walk 4 guys. He gave up 2 home runs, including that 2-run shot to Yanir Diaz in the 6th inning to open up the game to 4-1. He threw 96 pitches. He did throw a lot of strikes. He threw 60 of them for strikes, 56 for strikes, 60% rate for a strike-to-ball ratio. Overall, good. He is attacking hitters, but again, it's resulting in a lot of hard-hit contact and a lot of extra base hits, and he is still walking guys. This is how the starting rotation currently looks for the Red Sox. Obviously, Crochet is the ace. Dustin May finds himself in the number 2 slot after that really, really good outing we just saw from him against the San Diego Padres, the Houston Astros, which was a huge relief, because after his first initial start with Boston, it felt like it was just an abysmal trade for the Red Sox. But after last start for Dustin May, things are a bit more optimistic. But then you have Buehler, Giolito, and Bello. Both of those bottom guys in Giolito and Bello have been streaky. They've had very good moments. They've had moments of inconsistencies, as everyone does. Bello's obviously relatively younger. Giolito is now 31, going on to 32. He's been around the game for a long time. He has dealt with injuries. He's very experienced. Someone that you could have faith in going into October. Buehler, obviously 31 as well, has as much experience as anyone in the big leagues in the sense of starting pitching, whether it's in October, in the Fall Classic specifically, or just through regular season after regular season. Is he someone that could possibly make a playoff roster? I absolutely 100% think so. But to close out the last 40 games of this season, I feel like the Red Sox may go in a different direction when it comes down to Buehler's next start. And I think it could result in Kyle Harrison's name getting called and having him called up to Boston, where he could be that number 3, 4, or 5 guy in the starting rotation. I hope that he's called up, because Buehler's underlying metrics, as well as obviously if you just watch the games like we cited that he performed in last night, it has just not been the same Walker Buehler that was in the closed Game 7 of the World Series last night. It was not the same Walker Buehler that we've seen in the contentions for Cy Youngs in previous years, which a lot of the Red Sox organization, I would assume, and Red Sox Nation as a fan base, assumed they weren't going to see, at least at that level, from Walker Buehler, but the idea was he would be at least a credible guy that could be a 3rd, 4th, or even 5th guy in the starting rotation that could just at least collect innings, 4, 5, maybe 6 innings on a good day, like minimizing runs that he would be giving up, and that just has not been the case. Underlying metrics are not good. Bottom 8 percentile in both expected ERA and batting average, whiff percentages, chase percentages, Ks percentages, base on ball, barrel percentages, all very, very far below league average, which is not something you want to see. They are all correlating together, which is never a good thing. He's getting hit very, very hard. The barrel percentage, or the average exit velocity, is the only thing on this sheet that is slightly above league average, which is interesting. But again, he is still giving up hard hit contact. The sweeper, the slider, however you'd like to address it, is not getting all the way across the plate. It is spinning, but again, it is sitting up there once it does, and it's resulting in barrels, which is really unfortunate. Possibly we'll see Buehler back for the playoffs when the time does arrive. But right now it seems like the Boston Red Sox may be making a major move in bringing up the young 23-year-old southpaw pitcher from AAA in Kyle Harrison. Let me know down below your overall thoughts and opinions on this possible move. Would you do it? Would you rather keep Buehler and let the young man continue to work down in AAA? I will see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest, so thank you guys for watching.